You've seen it everywhere, right? Maybe you've even had one yourself. I'm talking about the glow up. You know, that incredible, almost magical transformation from an awkward kid into a confident, totally put together adult. Well, what if I told you it's not magic? Not at all. It's actually a series of predictable systems coming online. Let's get into it.
Oh, you know the ones I'm talking about. Those old school pictures, the awkward family photos, you're staring back at a version of you with weird clothes, maybe a kind of blank expression, and a haircut that you definitely did not choose. We all have them. It's totally universal. But here's the thing. That awkward kid in the photo, that wasn't a personal failure. That wasn't the final version of you. Just think of yourself like a brand new computer. Your core systems were still loading. They were still booting up. This wasn't some mysterious magical event, it was just development.
So to really get what a glow-up is, we've got to look at the three big systems that were basically under construction when you were a kid: your hardware, your aesthetics, and your self-awareness. Once you get a handle on these three things, the whole process starts to make a lot more sense.
Okay, first up, the hardware. This is the literal nuts and bolts of you, your physical self. As a kid, your body, your face, none of it was finished. Your bones, your muscles, even your hormones, they were all just following this pre-written biological code that hadn't finished running its program yet.
Just think about this rendering process for a sec. As a kid, our faces are basically designed to be cute, right? We have shorter faces, softer features. But then, during and after puberty, your bones literally get longer. Your jawline, your nose, your brow bone, they all get more defined. You don't just magically become prettier, your face is just finishing its final structural render.
And it's not just your bones either. Hormones are a huge part of this hardware upgrade. They're actually responsible for what we see as presence or style. You know, they sharpen your gaze, they give you more control over your facial muscles, and they increase your overall muscle tone. This is exactly why someone can go from looking kind of vacant as a kid to suddenly having this really strong, confident presence. It's basically a biological software update.
So, sitting right on top of that hardware is our second system, the aesthetic system. As a kid, your sense of style, well, it wasn't really yours, was it? It was more like pre-installed software, and you just didn't have the admin rights to change any of the settings.
And, I mean, it's no wonder that our childhood style just feels so off when we look back. Think about it. Your parents were the main designers. If you had one, a school uniform made sure you looked like everyone else. And function always beat fashion. You needed clothes you could play in and get totally messy. On top of all that, you had no money and zero freedom. How were you supposed to figure out what you even liked? Your aesthetic was basically just someone else's idea.
And that brings us to the third and, maybe the most important system of all, self-awareness. This is your psychological operating system. See, as a child, you're not fully living inside your body yet. You're not constantly thinking about how other people are seeing you.
And this is a total game changer because it means that stuff like being shy or slouching all the time or having that stiff, awkward smile in photos, those weren't permanent character flaws. No way. They were just symptoms of a social awareness that was still booting up. The second you realize, oh, people are looking at me, your posture, your expressions, how you carry yourself, it all starts to change almost automatically.
Okay, so knowing all that, what do we actually do with this information? Well, this next part is all about figuring out what fixes itself and what needs a little manual upgrade.
This is the big one, right? This is the question that separates pointless anxiety from actual focused self-improvement. So many of us waste energy worrying about things that time is just going to handle on its own. It's a total trap.
So, here it is, a super simple diagnostic tool. Just ask yourself this one question. Seriously, the answer instantly tells you if you're dealing with an external permission-based problem or a deeper internal habit-based one.
So if your answer is no, if a pile of cash and a great stylist would make the problem vanish, then you can just relax. These are what we call time and permission issues. Things like awkward body proportions get fixed by physical development. A bad wardrobe gets fixed by financial freedom. And that shy, awkward presence, that often gets fixed just by having more social experiences. Time is going to take care of all of this.
But if the answer is yes, if the problem would still be there even with all the money and style in the world, then okay, you've found a cognitive or a core issue. This is the stuff that needs active work. Bad posture is a physical habit you have to unlearn. Aesthetic blind spots, like not knowing why stacking a bunch of logos looks bad, that's a knowledge gap you have to fill. And nervous habits and conversations often come from a much deeper need for validation. These things don't just go away, you have to consciously work on them.
So,
For those manual upgrade issues, what's the game plan? Well, this section is a simple, totally free 5-step fast track. And the goal here isn't to add a bunch of stuff. It's about reducing noise and stabilizing your own systems.
Let's quickly walk through these 5 upgrades. Number 1, posture. It's everything. It is the highest impact, zero-cost change you can possibly make. 2, simplify your outfits. Pick one focus point, 1 star. Real style is just good editing. 3, focus on fabric, not fashion trends. Heavy, structured materials will always look more put together. 4, slow down your facial expressions. Taking a beat before you react signals major confidence. And finally, number 5, the really big one. Shift your focus from how do I look to what am I doing?
So how do you actually do this? Here's a simple 7-day reboot. First couple days, just focus on your posture. In a mirror, when you're walking, whatever. Days 3 and 4, edit your closet. Don't buy anything, just remove the noisy stuff. Day 5, put together one solid, quiet outfit that makes you feel stable and comfortable. Day 6, in your conversations, just practice slowing down your reactions. And on day 7, you put it all together. Go somewhere and focus 100% on your task, not on how you look.
And all of this brings us to the final and honestly the most important upgrade of them all. Because the real glow up, the true transformation, isn't actually about how you look. It's a deep psychological shift from feeling anxious to feeling secure.
The core mindset shift is this. You move from needing external validation to having an internal purpose. Awkward thinking is always asking, how do I look? God, I hope they like me. Confident thinking asks, what's my role here? What am I trying to get done? It's the huge difference between being an object that's being looked at and being a person with a purpose.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Real confidence isn't about being the center of attention or trying to get people to admire you. It's about knowing why you're in a room and occupying that space without feeling like you have to apologize for it. When you have a reason to be somewhere, you stop worrying about whether you deserve to be there.
So let's just end with this thought. The ultimate glow up isn't about getting better at picking out clothes. It's about becoming so secure in who you are and what you're doing that you're just not anxious to be seen anymore. That is the real transformation.